Like I said, this needs to be a finely crafted, like, this is a story. It's like a lullaby. Like, you want it to continue on. People like being led into an extraordinary experience. If your seduction is, oh, I got a pretty face. Oh, if you're a woman, oh, I've got nice hair or big boobs, or I have like, or anybody could have, like, I got this nice car, right? And there's some ugly dudes and girls out there who be getting some action, let's just say, like consistently. You probably know some people that you're like, this dude is no better looking than me. Maybe they're even worse looking than you, and you're like, how do they do it? Seduction, not conquering. You have to learn to seduce. All right, welcome back to another video, everyone. Today's topic is the best method for attracting a relationship. So, this can be any sort of relationship. Obviously, it can be one in love, in romance, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, marriage, any of that kind of stuff. And it can also be in business. It can also be friendships. It can also just be camaraderie in general. So, the best method of attracting relationships is seduction. All right, there is a famous quote by Voltaire, the French philosopher, that goes, "It is not enough to conquer. You have to learn to seduce." Now, what does that mean? So, let's talk about what conquering means, first of all. Since everybody can pretty much understand what a romantic relationship is, conquering would be trying to force the issue, like seeing someone you like and asking them out every single day, or always telling them they're so beautiful, or things like that. Like, hey, can we do this? How do you like these things? Yada yada yada. All right, and really pressing and pursuing hard. That is the nature of conquering. It's really the pursuit, like going at it with this is the only goal in mind, that kind of attitude. Now, here's the reason why this is an issue. It's okay to have a little bit of pursuit, of course, like everybody has to pursue here and there. The conquering comes into when you're like, okay, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get this thing. And you're laying it on too strong, you're coming on too strong. This is an issue because it implies scarcity. It implies that you're, what would you call it? That you don't have any other options, right? That is not a good implication. It implies that you're desperate. And desperation is probably the least attractive quality in anybody looking for a relationship. Now, you might have a lot of other stuff going on for you that is great. You might be great looking. You might have money. You might have a lot of social influence. You might be very charismatic. Any of these things. Now, the one thing that will turn people off the fastest, though, is desperation. If somebody is not reciprocating your feelings, move on to the next person. And or seduce. Change the script up. Flip the script. Try to seduce instead. So let's talk about seduction. We talked a little bit about the conquering. And we're gonna continue with romantic relationships here, but we'll also dip into other sorts of relationships and business, and we'll get there. So, seduction with the romantic relationship would be this. It would be, yes, being a charming person, understanding what it means to charm people, being legitimately interested in them and their interests. All right, one of the best ways that you can seduce somebody is talk about them. It's been said before that if you want to hear somebody talk on and on and on, bring them up as the subject. This is a good way to start the seduction. Now, you don't want to do that completely. There needs to be a little bit of maybe an 80-20, right? The Pareto principle. To where 80% of what you do is you want to kind of talk about them, but you need to throw some stuff in there about you, or you're going to look like you're being kind of shady. So you don't want to go up to somebody and for 2 hours just be discussing just them without putting in any of your own experiences or your own opinions, or the conversation will probably go towards your side or you as a subject a little bit. You want a little bit of that blend, but try to make about 80% of it about them, especially if it's the first time that you're meeting them or the first couple of times or something. Try to get to know them, and the important thing is that sincerity. If you don't really care what it is they're talking about, it'll come across, and you're basically doing for nothing. And that's the opposite of seduction. That's icky. People see that, they're like, nah, I don't like how I'm being. People don't want to feel like they're being seduced, in a way, because that seems like coercion. That seems like a kind of like a smooth speaking salesman or something that is going to eventually take something from them, whether it's money or trick them. Not saying all salesmen are like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. But it feels that way. This right here actually is why sales is such a difficult field. Is because of this. It's because it is difficult to understand how to seduce without laying it on too hard and conquering. You say those hard pressure tactics. Oh, you better buy now because we only have somehow one of this ebook or something, only the next 50, and then we're completely out. Obviously, that doesn't make any damn sense. But those like high pressure tactics, or oh, what do we got to do to this, or oh man, you're not gonna buy the extended warranty. Oh my God, what is gonna happen when your car breaks down, or any of that stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. That is the opposite of attractive. It is the opposite of seduction. That is conquering. That is why most people, if you ask them, do not like to be in a sales situation. And this is why sales is one of the hardest jobs. If people can get this right here correct, the seduction rather than conquering, they'll do fabulous at sales. And part of that is being legitimately interested, as I said, in the other party. Now let's go back to relationships for a bit. The seduction, this is a finely crafted dance. It's like a work of art. You do this over time. You're not going to seduce somebody in one day. Now, you might be charming in one day, and that is seduction, yes. You're not going to make somebody like fall head over heels in love with you in one day. And if you were able to do that, wouldn't that make you question the other person's like mental and emotional integrity? You're like, damn, if it's this easy, how many other people out there could do this? Right? I know some people are probably thinking, no man, it'd be better if every single girl I walked up to, she just fell in love with me, dude, because I'm just that dude. I'm just that great, man. So I don't know about this seduction thing. I just go in there and take what I like. Yeah. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to have that attitude. Seduction, 9 times out of 10, if you watch people who are good with women, who are good with captivating an audience, who are good with making friends, winning friends and influencing people, right? That whole thing. If you study those people and you really look at what they're doing as they do it, as like a fly on the wall or something, you'll see that it is seduction. It's not because they're great looking, although that helps. It's not because they have all this swagger, although that helps. It's not any one little thing, because there's a lot of people that are plenty good looking that really don't get any more relationships than average or even not great looking people. And the reason is because if they don't master that art of seduction, that good looks thing about them, that cools off pretty quickly. If there's no substance there, it isn't, like I said, this needs to be a finely crafted, this is a story. It's like a lullaby. Like, you want it to continue on. People like being led into an extraordinary experience. If your seduction is, oh, I got a pretty face. Oh, if you're a woman, oh, I've got nice hair or big boobs, or I have or anybody could have, I got this nice car, right? Nobody gives a shit about that after the first date or two. Seduction, and there's some ugly dudes and girls out there who be getting some action, let's just say, consistently. You probably know some people that you're like, this dude is no better looking than me. Maybe they're even worse looking than you, and you're like, how do they do it? Seduction, not conquering. You have to learn to seduce. Conquering is not enough. Here's the other thing about conquering. Once in a while it works. Let's not even talk about relationships. Let's talk about your job. So you've probably had bosses who conquered, meaning they pulled rank all the damn time, meaning every time something has to happen, it's my way or the highway. They never have an open mind about something, about anything, and those people are generally shitty to work for, and nobody likes them because they're conquering. Now, once in a while, you do have to pull rank, and I've said this many times before. I've worked for a lot of people. Good leaders, the ones that are very effective, and the ones that are loved, very rarely have to actually pull rank. It happens once in a while, yeah, but it's not like every... Do you know those people that get a little bit of power and every single discussion is, oh no, we're doing it this way, it's my way. They never open the floor to anybody else. Nobody likes a piece of shit like that, okay? I'm just gonna say it how it is, because they're conquering. You only get so many of those. You only get so many times that you conquer somebody or conquer a situation in a period of time before people really start to hate you. So think about it that way. In love, it's really no different than that. You don't want to be the person that has to pick all the damn time where you're going to eat, what you're going to do, what pet you want. I don't know, whatever it is, okay? It doesn't have to... you can't have it on your terms all the time where the other person is... it's so exhausting to be around somebody that's like that. All right, once you get comfortable with somebody, you probably want to do it 50-50. Some people want to lean 60-40. You might want to lean 80-20. When you're beginning the seduction, you probably want to do 80-20. You want the other person to feel, and legitimately, this needs to be the case, but you want the other person to feel like, hey, you have their attention. Now, they have your attention. Don't be you don't want to be that kind of person who is talking to somebody and they're on their phone or they're doing that swivel neck thing and they're looking around. Right? How does that make you feel? That you're looking for a bigger fish to fry. It's like you're basically saying you suck or you're nothing to me. I mean, you're not saying that, but with your body language, that is exactly what you are communicating, whether you're aware of it or not. That is the opposite of seductive. You do not want to be the person doing that. Think about it. Look at the people that are actually seductive. You can look in in business, in negotiations, in politics, the people who capture hearts, all right? They seduce. They do this right here. They make eye contact. They smile. They talk about the concerns of whoever they're speaking to, the other party. Some people like to give little, what do you call this? Little, touches. I forgot what this is called, but, they'll touch people. They'll touch their arm, or they'll pat them on the back, or when they shake their hand, I think it's, they said, was it Bill Clinton who would shake somebody's hand and touch their elbow too, or they'll do the double handshake or something like that, and really the eye contact and the position of the body, so that you knew while you were talking to Bill Clinton or anybody. Dude was a master seducer. No matter what you think about him, if you want to learn how to seduce, I mean, we all know of the things that happened, but he was like that the whole time, though, with multiple areas of his life. He was a charming man. I mean, is. Do you see what I mean? You want to do that kind of thing. Give your full attention. Wherever you are, be all there. So people knew when they had this dude's attention. No, they had his full attention. As busy of a person he was, he remembered people's names. He remembered whatever little thing was going on in their life, and made it a point to devote himself for that little amount of time. And that made people feel fantastic. So that is seduction. You want to do that. Remember what Voltaire said? It is not enough to conquer, you must seduce. Think about it. If you just conquered something, there was no effort. There was no the person on the other side, whether it's a relationship or business or whatever. There was no inclination from them. It wasn't from the heart. Do you really want something that isn't from the heart? Somebody that's not giving you actual devotion? The answer is no. You don't want something like that, because it will not sate that need inside of you for that connection, especially in love. You don't want to conquer. You don't want to be the kind of thing to where like you just go out into a group of suitors and you just pick one because you can just have them. That isn't love. And this right here is where the fairy tale is actually useful. The fact that, hey, love, you have to have somebody fall in love with you. You have to have your investors and business people fall in love with your plan, because it'll come from them. Like, love is one of those things, we can just take that can't be forced. Actual love, actual adoration, if you don't want like romance, like actual adoration from your peers and stuff, cannot be forced. It must be chosen. They must choose to give that to you. You see what I mean? So that's why seduction, this is one of my favorite topics. Seduce, don't conquer. It's very rare you actually have to conquer. Once in a while, you have to go to war. You got to kick some ass, but that's rare. That's like 1% of the time, maybe less. 99% of the time, you should be looking to seduce. Here's the other thing: nobody else does it. Think about it. So many other people, they're not checking stuff out like this. They're not reading the great minds. They're not actually studying human interaction and being all there, like I've been saying. So even if you do this a little bit, it will look different to other people. They'll be like, man, there's something different about that person. Like when I talk to them, like I'll see 10 people, and this person, every time I see them, I can count on, hey, that's a good interaction is coming here. This person gets me. Even if you don't really get them that much or don't understand, the fact you made the effort means everything. You'll like be ahead of 90% of people just by trying this. I love that other quote that is like, I forgot who said it, but it was like, showing up is half the battle. Like literally, you're past just half of the world in anything is if you just try. You don't have to even be good. And this thing right here, this seduction thing, I would wager that you would be 80 to 90% ahead of everybody if you just try it. And if you get good at it, you're comfortably in 90%. How would you like to be in the top 10% of every single interaction you have? You want to leave people feeling better about themselves. There's another quote out there. I forgot where this one came from. I'm gonna have to start writing these down. But it was something to the order of, you want people to feel when they leave you when they leave the interaction with you, you're like, man, I thought that this person, they were like one of the smartest people, but when I started talking to them, they made me feel like I was the smartest person. You what? That's seduction. That's sexy, man. Whether you're trying to get a woman or a man, that kind of thing, like a mate, or if you're trying to team up in business or just friends, or you will be surprised how how far these sorts of things will get you in just like your day-to-day interactions. I can't tell you how many times like I've had, I don't know, I bought something and it slipped my mind that I needed to return it or something, and it was out of its return window or something. But you just be present with people, be honest with them. Don't go in there freaking out like, oh, you guys need to do that. No, that's conquering. You got to seduce. You have to be okay with them saying, no, it's outside of the window. But you'll be surprised with how many times in my life, just that politeness, just ask how somebody is and whatnot, being real with them, that seduction will get you what you want. Sometimes it gets you more than what you want. So be on the lookout for ways to seduce. A lot of y'all might need to go out and communicate some more, talk to people. That's another, right there, method of seduction that I think a lot of people don't understand that well, that they don't think about. Because not everybody is an extrovert. That's okay. You don't have to be. You can just do this with one person every single day that you see somewhere as practice. Remember, showing up is half the battle. If you just try it with one person every day, you're halfway past everybody. Just with one person a day, ask how they were doing. Ask, like, not just that. You don't want a canned question like, how's your day going? But even then, if you, like, especially if you do it to people who that's their job to do that, like in some service or industry or retail, or somebody who is like, you're the customer, if you even just ask them how their day is doing and do it before they ask you. Don't be, they ask you like, how's it going? You're like, oh great, how are you? That's like canned. But if you be like, hey, how's it going? How's your day been, or something, especially before they ask you, just that is huge. And that's like a canned, like, topic right there, or like icebreaker. And if you ask something a little deeper, like, got any cool plans for the week or something like that, you'd be surprised how seductive that can be. Because 90% of the people that everybody interacts with doesn't take even a second to be interested in anyone but themselves. So like I said, you will stand out just by doing that. And as you do it, you'll get better at it. So what I want you to do is look for ways to be more seductive. Now, we want to not be conquering as much as possible. It's easy to accidentally do the conquering thing. When you are in a like situation with somebody, or you're in a conversation or some sort of like, I don't know, like you're buying something or just anything, and you're giving short answers, or you're just answering questions very, very directly, like, okay, will that be all? Yeah. That's kind of conquering. It isn't seductive for sure, and it can be on the conquering side if you think about it, because you're just trying to end the situation, or you're trying to get from A to B just as quick as possible. Of course, there's sometimes we got to do that, but this is what I'm saying. A lot of times you don't. It takes almost no effort to just try to be seductive. And you'll be past probably 90% of people. Even if you're past 50% of people, that's good. As you get better at it, you're going to get up to that 90. Right? You don't want to be the dude, like I said, no man, I know exactly what I want. I'm going to go after it. And everyone's gonna love me because I say so. No, that's not seduction. You can't force love. And Let's talk about a little bit more before we end here about being seductive by not doing anything else. Okay, I said be interested in people, strike up conversations and stuff. Yeah, you want to do all of that. Now, separate from that, the other things that you can do to seduce is you can lead by example, or rather, you can show, not tell, show people why it is that you're so great. Why should they be talking to you and stuff? You don't want to tell them that, like, oh, you want a guy like me because X, Y, and Z. No, that's not what we're doing. You can work on your fitness. You can work on your money. You can have an overall positive disposition. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's taking the black pill, right? Who's all negative about every single little thing. Who's looking for people to be insulting them. You ever meet those people who are always looking like, hey, what'd they say? What'd they say? Why are you looking at me like that? Like they're looking to be insulted about stuff. You do not want to be that kind of person, right? So that's like you wanna be a person who has a kind and gentlemanly or ladylike or just pleasant disposition. All right, you don't want to be the person just like, oh damn, like I said, black pill. If y'all don't know what that means, like basically, if you see the Matrix, you got the red pill, you got the blue pill. Red pill is like what's real. We're gonna look at things how they are, and we're not going to sugarcoat stuff. Blue pill is like you can believe whatever you want, whether it's delusional or whatever. Black pill is when you want to see the worst thing in every situation. Who the hell wants to do that? That is not somebody you want to be around. Remember, just having a positive disposition and working on yourself on the side, doing stuff like this, paying your debts down, okay, improving your relationships with the people you just got around you right now, working on your body if you like to work out, eat healthier, just whatever it is. Self-improvement will give you that courage to have good interactions and also have that attitude, like I said, have that pleasing disposition. That doesn't mean you have to go like walk around everywhere with a never-ending smile on your face, although smiles help a lot, but you don't have to just like be a weirdo. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like try to look for good things in situations, compliment things on people. You don't have to compliment things you don't like. Find something about a situation you like. Even in there's a one rule I learned from some business person. They call it the 99 and 1% rule. And that's even if you're speaking to somebody or in an interaction with somebody and 99% of the shit they say you don't agree with, find the 1% that you agree with and back it up 99%. You see what I mean? That's seductive too. Even if you don't agree. They'll know you don't agree with most of their stuff. I mean, people are pretty sharp. They'll pick up on it. But the fact you made an effort and you're like, look, we're not going to be black pill about this. We're going to actually like try to still have a decent conversation here and be respectful about the opinion of other people. Okay? So remember, it is not enough to conquer. The only surefire way to conquer, for sure, is seduction. That is the only way to do it. It is not enough to conquer. You must seduce. Alright? So, please do leave a like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and have a beautiful day.